Okay, in this video I'm going to show you how to make titles. So your event scores. So what I need to do is I need to generate a file. So I'm going to go into title and new title, and the first title I'm going to create is a default still, and I'm going to say intro title so I can find it later, and I am going to select. So I'm going to call this climb, and I can move this interface here. Now I can center it. I can put it in the center vertically and horizontally to use a nice straightforward sans serif font. So I am just going to pick a plain Arial font for this. I can change the size by clicking and dragging. It doesn't give a font point size, unfortunately. It starts with 100 and goes up and down. I'm going to center it. And I also have all of these features in terms of making it bold. I can change the leading if I have multiple lines, small caps, and give it all kinds of shadows, and change the color. But what I want is just a straightforward white text on a centered, because anytime I move it a little bit or change the size, it'll go off center. And then I'm going to close that and bring it into my source. So now this is a good opportunity because I have a fade in. I can make it overlay on my video, but I just want a white text on a black background before I fade into my video, and that's really all I want for this. Now this is a good opportunity to, instead of using an overwrite command where I will overwrite the video I've already created and deleted the first 10 seconds of the frames, 5 seconds of the frame. I don't want to do that. I want to insert it in the beginning, and I'm going to use the whole title, and then I can either click on this icon or use the comma command, and it shouldn't have a speed. And so we're going to look at that, and it says, and there's a short fade in. Okay, so what I can do is if I want to, I can add a fade in and or fade out at the beginning and the end of my title. And you see it's looking for a little render there. And so I'm going to create another title. I'm going to go into it, and this time I'm going to use a default role, and I'm going to call it, how about, end credits. And for your end credits for the event scores, what you want to do is you want to start with yourself. You want to say directed by, and write your name. Then you want to say event score by, who wrote the event score, and you want to give them credit. I'm just going to make that centered and centered, and I'm going to make this smaller so that it's a little more manageable. And then by name or names, performances by, name, name, etc. And if there's any music, etc., I'll give everyone credit. Now I know I'm going to need a little more space between these. Okay, and let's just look at that and see what we have. In credits and end credits. So this is going to need a fade out. And let's also put the end credits a little bit over my video. I'm going to take Snap to Guides off, and I'm going to put this here. Now the default credits is 5 seconds, and that's way too short, so a little more space. It might not. Okay, but when it begins and ends is not so nice. So I can easily edit it. I go back to my project window and simply double click on the original file. And I can, if I look in my menu, there's something called Roll Crawl Options. I'm going to click on that, and I'm going to say Start Off Screen and End Off Screen, and just see what that looks like. I'll put my cursor here. Okay, and so that's a little abrupt, but I'm getting closer. Okay, it goes on and off. Now one thing I know I need is I know I need a transition. So I'm going to zoom in on that and just play that one small. Okay, now one thing I can do at the end, I can elongate that tip to black a little bit. In fact, because it's the end, let's just see what that looks like. And that's still a little fast, so I'm going to elongate that. Okay. And I think that's fine for now. So what I will do is I will edit that, make sure that the font matches title. So let's just look at that. And that's Arial. So I'll go back to the end credits and look for Arial. I can do it Arial black, I can do it Arial regular like I did for the beginning, as long as the type family matches. And it's looking a little, let's make sure that that's centered. And yeah, it looks like it shifted a little bit. And you can see that the fade is a bit jumpy. You can see that the lettering is a bit jumpy. So when I go to give it a render, and I'm going to render the entire audio, and so I've done a little bit more. It takes like 6 little, it's going to make me 6 little video previews to show those nice and smooth. So I'm going to go to the end. Much smoother, much crisper text. Okay. So this is one way to make titles and credits in Premiere that we'll look at this semester. And so now you can make credits for your event score.